So after the zombie apocalypse in Vallaki, during which you potentially discovered that one of the stumbling blocks of the whole incident was Lady Vokkr. You got into a confrontation with her and you killed her in the streets. You went back to her the next day.
No, it was Jim. I wasn't even there.
I'd like to point out there's only one of us that killed her.
Recovered the body and took her back to a house where you informed the family. The family had seemingly had no idea. You searched the Vokkr house and went into the basement via the outside, where you found various. You found a hive of ghouls and some cultists, and Jarek entered what looks like a very cultish room. As soon as you enter, Jarek gets the heebie-jeebies, like the proper divine heebie-jeebies coming from the room with the pentagram on the floor. Candle burning.
Didn't stop me braining the first cultist through the door, though.
It did not. It did not. And the two cultists in front of you, Jarek ordered to drop weapons. I can't remember exactly what you said. I don't know if you can remember it.
I don't know. It was quite aggressive.
It was aggressive.
Jarek was quite fed up by that
Didn't
point.
you say?
And I was quite tired.
Stop that! It's silly. Something along those lines.
Stop that, silly person. And they held up their hands in supplication. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take it exactly from that point.
Am I covered up, Dave?
Yes, you are, mate. Yeah. As both of them, their hands raise up, you notice, or Jarek would notice, that they look pretty similar. These two hooded robes. Now you're a bit closer, you can see under the hood. So there's possibly a family resemblance between the two of them. And one of them, the response is a little bit more sluggish than the other. The other one is straight away, it's like, yeah, and the other one sort of looks for his cue to the first one that has surrendered, and then repeats the process. So I'm going to take us out of initiative because we finished last session. Any other information we need to go over, or are you just happy to?
I don't think so.
How's JMO looking health-wise?
15.
I did heal him, but it was only it wasn't a massive amount.
Have another 10. Are we going to be resting soon? Have another 10 just in case, JMO.
Okay.
Lay on hands.
Jarek will also still short sword and mace in hand. I'll kind of lower my mace so it's not quite as threatening, and return it to my scabbard at my hip kind of thing, and march towards and pull the hood, lift while they've got their hands up, just kind of pull the hood down on one and then repeat the process on the other.
Okay, yeah, they're both stood still. One of them, the one that reacted first, he's starting to sweat a little bit and he's looking nervous. The other one just stood there waiting. Looks like he's waiting for someone to tell him what to do.
The other guys that came with us, they were stood at the top of the stairs, didn't they?
Yes,
the entrances. Yeah. Okay, I'll kind of herd them both, so they both stood against the wall, and then just kind of go back to stand where I actually am on the map, so I can kind of keep an eye on those two against the wall while seeing into the room, and basically tell them not to move. Sure.
Okay. They seem to be complying for now. Let's have a go on, Mark. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll look mean, so hopefully they don't want to have a go.
You're in the other room.
Oh, I'll do it anyway, just for no reason.
Okay. I tell you what, if you want to join it, walk into that room, then Akxikas, you can have an intimidation check. Given the circumstances, you can have it with advantage as well. Just to see if you've got a tiefling with one silver eye in a black robes and a.
First thing you can see the mate beaten to pulp, and then a devil walks through the door.
Here we go then. I shall have a little roll. Come on, you mofo, where are you?
Just following up on Jarek's 22 intimidation from the end of last session.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, it's still on there, isn't it?
22. All right. Yeah. You've got them exactly where you want them. How is Akxikas stood above them? What's it? What's he?
I'm just stood in the doorway, making it, filling the door, so in case they run past Jarek and try and get away.
Right, sound. Okay. You can see at the top of the landing, on the entrance to this cellar, you see the two boys. So it's Carl and Nikolai, and you can also see Ernst still stood there, looking, and they're all looking nervous and aghast as to what's happening. They've just witnessed this battle, and they've witnessed you guys, like some kind of divine whirling dervish, plow your way through 6 ghouls and the cultists, and they're just.
I'll ask Nick if their expressions of, aghastness seem genuine to him from where he's standing.
Do they?
Have an insight.
He's better at insight than me. That's why I'm asking him.
Yep.
Does that seem familiar? Does that seem?
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, yes. You 19 is a reasonable check then. So Nick, you would spot sort of a hint of recognition with Ernst, but they're all amazed and shocked as to everything that's happening.
Ernst
So they're
probably
mostly innocent. And Ernst knew there was something dodgy going on. Possibly didn't know what it was, but I think we need to find out in some nice way. Obviously, I wouldn't suggest killing them all and keeping the house or anything like that.
I'll let Mark know what I've
Again.
Incited.
Yeah.
Nice one. Thank
I'll
you.
let Akxikas know what I've incited. Otherwise, that didn't make sense.
Okay, that's all good. And Jarek's the one who's right in front of them, so I assume he's going to do you have questions? I assume you have questions for these little people.
I haven't said anything yet at the moment. I'm just letting them sit there and be quite scared.
Yeah.
I was more a case of just waiting till everything else kind of settles and everything. But yeah, so I mean, first kind of question towards both of them would be, who are they? Because who are they basically?
So the one that surrendered first.
That's the one I'm going to address. I'm going to ignore the one that's coming across as a bit simple and just address the other one for now.
Yeah. So he will say, my name is Alec. This is my brother, Peter. We mean you no harm. Please let us go.
I'll say, Nick, are they lying?
I'll say, so if they mean there's no harm, what was the attack all about?
We have instructions from Lady Vokkr, but please, we have families.
I want to know what instructions exactly.
This is her sanctum. This is where she contacts the devils. She makes gold rain from the sky in this room, and we joined her cult because she was powerful.
I pull out an arrow and just start picking my teeth. And a bit of Lady Vokkr still on this one.
I turned to Fester. He's got such bad habits.
Yeah, I will genuinely chuckle to myself.
To this, Alec, Peter's. You get the sense, very much gets the sense that Peter's potentially he's either very, very simple or he's one of these soulless characters that wanders around Barovia. But at the mention of Lady Voktr's death, Alec will say he'll look surprised and say, "You've killed Lady Vokkr."
She was killed in the fight. It wasn't me.
I'll reaffirm that yes, she was killed in the carnage that she unleashed on the town.
Yeah.
Okay, so Alec will say, "Oh, okay, you've freed us. You've freed us from serving Lady Vokkr. Then how can we repay you? How can we thank you?"
What were you actually doing here? What was the ritual?
We were told to guard this place. This is where Lady Vokkr talks to and attempts to summon demons.
Can I give myself a D4 and have an Arcana check to see if I know
I was about to say, I would say at this point I'd probably kind of gesture at Akxikas to kind of investigate the pentacle. Because I mean, you said I got the heebie-jeebies as I came in.
Yeah.
It was more of a divine feeling, which wouldn't usually be arcane related.
No, but you can do, Mark. You haven't. You're not
Do you want
proficient.
religion or what is it?
You're not
What's the other
proficient
one?
in either, are you?
Adults.
I'd said it's. I would say if we're doing religion, I'd have probably concentrated on
Yeah,
it. But I would say
do
if I was
Arcana
thinking
then.
it might be arcane,
Yeah.
and making gold rain from the sky sounds more arcane than divine.
It sounds rich.
Yeah.
Plus.
What was that? Sleight of hand.
Where's me fucking thing? There it is. So that's 15.
15. Okay, so during the fight, you remember that Fester was attacked by an imp. With your arcane knowledge coming from Avernus and knowing what Akxikas knows, you'd be aware of the fact that imps have the ability to go invisible. So
Yeah.
there's a fair chance that Lady Vocta's managed to summon an imp, and she was using the imp to fly up to the ceiling with gold coins and throw them down.
She's a con artist.
Yeah. Using real magic to do fake magic.
Yeah.
That's quite cool. That's quite cool.
But
So there was one kind of question I'll have directed to just to interrupt. So this kind of comes to Jarek while he's off there. These guys all cast spiritual weapon last game, didn't they?
Sure.
So it's obviously they somehow have been trained up to the level of being able to cast spiritual weapon, including the either simpleton or soulless. So I'm going to start after Mark's done his bit. I want to start questioning about that, where they've learnt that and how they've got that ability from, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
I shall pass the conch, so to speak.
Are they dressed the same way as the cultists that we were attacked by originally?
Yes. Attacked by the cultists.
The woman we interrogated, they were cultists dressed as vampire spawn.
Yeah. No. In which case, because they were dressed as vampire spawn.
Okay.
They were just out on a hen that went wrong.
Back very soon.
Yeah.
It was the massive inflatable cock that gave it away.
But so to answer Jarek's question, Alec will tell you that Lady Vocta taught them about the Night Mother, the Morning Lord and the Night Mother, and she devoted her powers, or claimed her powers came from the Night Mother, and it was her that taught them, that gave them the ability to inflict wounds and to summon spiritual weapons and to throw sacred flames, sort of radiant fire.
I don't know the Night Mother by that name. Would Nick know who the Night Mother was by another name, or know who the Night Mother was by that name?
I'm trying to think who the Night Mother is.
You can have a religion check, yeah, if you want to.
Would that be for me and Adam each, or would it just be one of us?
No, you can both do it just to see if you both have proficiency in religion, don't you?
No.
No.
What? The cleric isn't proficient.
You assume to know everything about your own religion, but other religions, it's just a normal roll.
It's intelligence. It's not even a wisdom. It's an intelligence.
It's intelligence stat.
Clerics are bad at religion.
Yeah.
I did roll a natural 20 though, so.
Oh, okay. Which are we using? No, let's use the new rules. So if you roll a natural 1, you get inspiration this time. Let's give it a try.
I was thinking, Adam, it does make sense because it's not that was amazing. It was a shit. Things are going wrong. I need to really pull it out the bag. Is the way to look at that inspiration.
Oh no, that's what I said the other day. Yeah, that's what I said. I was quite happy for it to be argued.
Even for others, if you're getting hacked down, I'm going to drive harder to.
Well, yeah. I'm not. I'm just going to laugh at you.
Do you want me to roll anyway, or are we just going with Adams?
Yeah, no, you can do just to see if you know. 5, no. So with a 20, with a natural 20, Adam, for Jarek, You've picked up so far sort of two names as you've wandered through Barovia, the Morning Lord and the Night Mother. They're the
I've met the Morning Lord.
they're the only two names of deities that you've heard while you're in Barovia. And putting two and two together, you would assume that Barovia, the ancient Barovia, before it went into the demiplane of Dread, it only had two patron deities, Night Mother and Morning Lord.
But
So
I wouldn't
the
know
Night
who the Night Mother is in my terms, whereas I know Morning Lord's Lathander.
Yeah, the Lathander is known as the Morning Lord,
Yeah.
and obviously the deities can go through different prime material planes.
Yeah. Gods always have loads of names. It's part of the benefits of being a
Yeah,
god.
it's more just. I'm just saying. Would I
by
recognise
many
what the
names.
name I would know back in main Faerun, as it were? But if there isn't really a direct one,
Is there a direct sort of opposite to the Morning Lord?
not
Night
really. I can think of anyway.
Not massively. The only one that would stand out is possibly Shah.
Yeah,
I know
but
her.
doesn't really kind of feel the fitting. Yeah,
It
possibly.
doesn't,
we don't
because
know.
the opposite of Shah would be Saloon.
Yeah.
So obviously it's not a perfect fit. So
No.
again, the only thing I can tell you with a natural 20, there isn't the perfect fit from your
Fair
pantheon,
enough.
from your the pantheon.
So
that
I'm
you're
vaguely
aware of.
aware of it, but can't really match it up to anyone I would know.
Yes, you think it's more archaic than anything you've heard of, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
Who's the Yellow King?
Has he been weed on?
Okay.
Yeah.
So Alec will continue, and he'll say, Peter, come, Peter, we need to thank these people. Peter just thanks. But Alec will continue. Will say, please, we have families. If you let us go now that Lady Vox is dead, we can go around preaching how wonderful you guys are and how you rescued us.
I want to know how much they knew of her plan for this evening.
Don't go saying we freed you. No.
Okay, no, we'll say anything you want. Anything you want. In terms of the plans for this evening, they were informed to stay in this room and make sure no one enters.
So they had no idea what was going on outside in the outside world.
How did that go for you guys?
Sorry?
How did that go for? Their job was to make sure no one got in.
Yeah, it didn't do very well, did they?
They didn't. You do see in the corner of the room there are bedrolls. There's sort of provisions in here, and it doesn't smell particularly healthy, as if a bunch of lads have been in here for perhaps a day or two.
Well, we're not going to murder hobo them, so
No. I say it's
what
literally
we
as long as I'm happy that they knew nothing of it. I'm not wanting to kill them.
but it's not like they're a threat to us, really. They're pussies.
No, it's more just.
Pussy.
Yeah, it's just that. Yeah, it's what they've learnt. I don't know. I'm just going to go with it. Try and be actually nice and positive for them. It's the abilities they've learnt under this woman, though they obviously were under her sway, can be used for good and the protection of the town as well. And if they want to learn more of the Morning Lord and maybe learn the correct way to use these powers to go and see the priest.
That's a good idea
for their sins.
Yeah, and
good cop and take them fishing.
Go and speak to the priest. Tell them that obviously Jarek has sent them across, and that they've learnt these skills but need guidance on better use of them.
Okay, so I'm going to skip a little bit. They question you about the Morning Lord. It was never mentioned to them. The only thing that they've ever heard of is the Night Mother, and they do seem intrigued, or at least Alec does. Peter's just happy to go along with anything. So we'll apply a roll to the end result. With everything that you've said, that's brilliant. So you can have advantage on a persuasion check. And the DC is only going to be 10, Adam, as long as you beat 10 with 2 rolls.
21.
Easy, yeah.
Thank God for the advantage.
So, you don't know, because I could have rolled the 1 as the second dice.
They go in the order you roll them.
Bullshit.
So they, they're quite happy to agree to this.
Bonus allies.
Yeah. Well, we weren't going to murder them when they weren't fighting. We're
Right.
not that kind of guys, are we? None
Okay,
of us.
let's tell them to bugger off and go where we're told, so we can have a look around.
Yeah.
So let's have what I'm going to ask for then. As you walk out, I'm going to ask for a perception check off everyone.
Just as we're doing that, Dave, can I ask when it is that we can learn new skills? I don't know anything. I don't even know who or what I am. I've just discovered I'm a tiefling and I'm terrified. That was a 1, by the way.
In terms of new skills, I think there's feats that you can get.
Do you mean skill proficiencies? I mean,
Yeah.
the main way is you take the skilled feat and learn 3 proficiencies. Other than that, it's if the DM allows you to take a week off or a month off and train in something, but Barovia doesn't feel the place to take a month off to go to school.
No, I don't think there's many schools advertising either.
Well, even if it's just not a place you go and sit down for a week anywhere, is it?
No. No,
Just
and
gonna
Mordenkainen's
study
already
quick.
said he's going to when we next day. I can get
What?
I'm going to get the what's it feat, the ritual summoner, and Mordenkainen said I asked him and he agreed. He's going to scribe the ritual for Lehman's tiny hut into
When we find his book.
Yeah, when he gets his book into my thing book, so we'll be able to rest hag free, guaranteed to be hag free.
I'm pretty sure the plan is to be resting hag 3 very soon.
Actually, that's even better. I like that idea more. But it does mean that we'll be able to stay out in the woods because nothing will be able to get us in the night. Nothing can get through Lehman's tiny hut. We're utterly safe in there.
Unless you sleepwalk and leave it, and then
unless someone farts, in which case you have to deal with that.
Very
I got
quaint name
25.
as well.
Yeah, I've got you, Jim. So with Jim's 25, you're the only person that notices when Alec walks past Ernst. They are trying to avoid eye contact with each other.
Right, we need to have a word with Ernst before we leave this place. After they've gone.
So I, after they've sort of passed me, I go, oi, and tell Akxikas this, who then proceeds to tell everybody else.
Yes, I will indeed.
Sure. Okay. So Alec and Peter again, they're thanking you as they start to walk off towards the church.
And you remember, it wasn't us. We weren't even there.
Yeah, no problem. Alec will say, "Yeah, no, your secret's safe." One issue, Alec will say. So you don't want us to mention Lady Vokkr? Obviously, you want us to say nothing about Lady Vokkr.
No, just say you were involved in the trouble, and we turned up and killed the baddies, and now you're okay. That'll do nicely. That'll make us popular in town.
Understood. And then he'll say, okay, yeah. And then as we were talking to you, perhaps we'll say you've saved us from a building, and Jarek told us about the Morning Lord, and then pointed us in the direction of Father Lucian. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. Go with that.
Okay, so off they go. So you left. If you remember, you're outside the Vokkr house. On the ground floor. Let's just take Nick's
Does anyone
token.
think we need to have a word with Ernst before we leave the house?
In that pentagon room, because they were summoning demons in there.
Yeah.
And Mark found out that imps can go invisible.
Yeah.
Divine sense. Just in that room to see if there's an imp in there.
It's clear.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Yeah, superb.
Yeah.
But no,
would the imp still be about, or would I not know that?
We killed the first one.
You killed the first one. It would have melted back into the primordial goop that devils turn into when they die in prime plane by now.
Yeah, it's gone home to be immaterial for a while. Yeah.
So you're outside the Voktr house, round the side as you emerge. It's still morning, if I remember rightly. You, I mean, it's sort of you're getting close. Perhaps we'll say moving closer to just after breakfast time now. After you've looked through the house and done all the bits and pieces, talking to the
We
Voktr
haven't had a lot.
boys.
We haven't had a rest, have we? Since we've been up all night, been Kong.
We slept at the church.
We slept at the church.
Ah. So have I used any? So have we all got?
Yes, we've just had a big fight. We've just had a fight and used stuff.
Right. So
Are,
yes, fine. That's all I needed to know.
the bedrolls and the provisions and everything that's left in the room, is there anything actually that's reasonably edible? In which case, I'm just going to start having my own breakfast.
Yeah, that's quite. No problem.
While
with that at all.
we're walking around, I'll just be munching on whatever.
Let's say some jerked beef.
Oh,
Oh,
I'll have some of that as well. If he's not taking a lot, the greedy fatty.
No, and there's a couple of turnips if you want to help yourself to those.
I nearly bought some jerky on the way as well, but I ended up with pork scratchings instead.
It's isn't it? It's so expensive though.
So, do we want to question Ernst, or do we think there's nothing really to be gained of?
I think we
these
should.
people about
think-
what are we going? What do we want to learn? We know that he knew what Lady Voktr was doing. We know they know what Lady Voktr was doing. Is there any additional information? Like Lady Voktr's not doing anything else.
I don't know really what much else there is to learn or know. I mean,
Well,
thinking, is it safer to let him think he's got away with it, and we can keep an eye and see how he progresses?
possibly.
Like if attacks kick back up, there's a good chance it's Ernst taking up.
Yeah.
If we let him know he's on to us, maybe he's a bit more cautious, and it's harder to spot if he is doing anything.
What I could do, and I'll run it all by you first, is I can ask Morrigan to keep an eye on him and promise me that she'll not randomly be mean to him.
No, because then
I don't
what
trust
happens when she finds out Lady Voktr was... We're trying to keep Lady Voktr's involvement completely away
Secret.
from the Baron. If you get your sister to follow Lady Voktr's servant, he's going to find out everything, and then everything we've just done to keep it secret is all for nothing.
Well, not necessarily. The bodies, they'll not be talking about it in public, will they? Unless they're dicks.
It's that, but it's also the fact of if he is then doing it, if he's Lady Voktr's slave,
Yeah, but if he is then doing it, he deserves what he gets.
Yeah, but then it brings it all back to the Voktr household because he wouldn't have been doing
You'll
it.
get the two Voktr lads killed.
Yeah, well, we don't want to risk them then. So
The Baron will happily wipe out the Voktrs from what we know of the family history and everything.
Rightio.
So other things that we had in town, definitely on the way out, we're going to... Is it the wagon to pick up the supplies? We wanted to stop in at the inn and check to see if Unwin is the were-ravens. And
yeah, because it was kind of closed when we came back past it.
Do we want to see if Father Lucian can keep up the gentle repose on the Voktr father?
I think it might be worthwhile. I mean, what I was going to say, because obviously we've got to deal with the fact that somehow Madame Voktr has died, but trying to keep it relatively, I don't know, low-key. I mean, would it make sense to try and dress the wound as best we can and have a children, clothe her and leave her on the bed with her husband as if she's died in the night or something? I mean, I know it won't pass close scrutiny, but...
Didn't we do something? I thought we did something with the body. Did we not?
It's currently in the house outside. Oh, no, we brought it in.
Do you know what helps cover up stuff like that?
Fire.
Can you do that without burning the house down?
I was thinking JMO's disguise kit.
Well, I was thinking JMO can disguise himself as a corpse. Can he make a corpse look like he didn't kill it?
That's still not going to pass close inspection, though, is it?
No, but it doesn't have.
What is this lady got a fake moustache?
It doesn't have to pass close inspection if the sons won't allow close inspection, other than if someone wants to come up and pay respects, they can see the body from.
Have I got teeth and claws?
We already know the Baron's an arsehole, though.
Have I got teeth and claws, Dave?
Do you want teeth and claws, Mark?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay,
I'll
I'll
keep
suggest that maybe, even though the thought of it is knocking me sick right now, I'll happily take some bites out of her so it looks like she was killed by a ghoul. I'm not going to eat it. I can only eat babies. But, if you think that will help with the ruse, I'm prepared to take one for the team. No.
That's not me saying no, that's Jarek being very against that.
I turn to Rokkr, and it's kind of the look of, it's new, or has he always been like this?
I've always been like that.
No response. So
whose logic goes to take one from the team by biting a corpse?
Well, if we don't want it to look like she was killed with an arrow, we could make it look like she was killed by a ghoul. That's the point.
Yeah, I could pulp her face in with my mace as well. It doesn't mean I'm going to.
Yeah, but that'd make it look like she's had a face pulped in by a mace.
Oh, you're just going to bite out the arrow hole and replace it with a bite.
But yeah, basically, yeah. Make the arrow wound look bitey.
So
And maybe add a few claw marks for good measure.
I like where you're going with this, so I'm going to push it a little bit further. Well, I'll potentially push it a little bit further. You can still.
You like where he's going with it?
You can still. No, not Mark.
Yeah.
No, that as standard. Never Mark. Sorry, Mark. You hear the two Vokkr boys talking between the two of them, and they're saying, "What we're going to do now? What we're going to do now? We can't. We're going to have to let people know that." And then the sudden realization on Nikolai's face that, holy shit, I'm air. I'm shit. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And so it's Nikolai is now heir apparent, or is the
Lord
the heir
Vokkr.
of the Lord Vokkr. And you can hear them clearly discussing what they're going to do, and they don't have much of a clue.
Well, I would say Jarek would have happily been discussing this loud enough that they might hear him, because, as I say, I've already made it clear to them if the Baron finds out they're screwed.
Got to top up my drink, folks.
Okay.
Can we just direct everyone we like to Father Lucian for guidance?
I think that's a bit mean on Father Lucian, but I am going to go and have a word with him in a minute just to warn him what's going on.
We're saving
It's
the
kind of his
city.
job.
You're our front man.
That is what
Father Lucian is the face of the party. We're good.
It's his whole reason for existing.
They are his flock.
They are his flock.
So with everything that you've said, Nikolai will just say, "Well, we need to let the people know how she died." Barovians have coffins. Once she's in a coffin, you can say what you want. She's in the coffin, and we'll follow your lead. And
is it customary in Barovia for the coffin to have like any form of our equivalent of like the open casket where they come past it?
No.
Or it's once the coffins? So the coffin's closed, the coffin's closed.
Yeah, and you would know
Okay.
this from back when you first arrived in Barovia, to the village of Barovia, where the burgomaster, the dead burgomaster, was in a coffin that was sealed. So you have evidence of.
Okay,
that
so we should be right then.
I turn to Nikolai and Lord Vokkr. Now the decision is yours. What do you wish to happen with your father? Do you wish to try and maintain his current state, or would you like him to lay to rest with your mother at last?
He will say, when you call him Lord Vokkr, you can see straight away he's chuffed. He's happy with that. And then he remembers the situation, and he'll sort of say, "Oh, I think it's time. I think enough has happened with this house that we need to move on." If I say to people that during the riot, the undead invasion, that both of my parents died, that clears the way.
And would we know the material cost for greater restoration?
Sure.
What? So whatever it is, could their family raise the funds or get the equipment that if we do find a method to heal their sister, they've got the components on hand?
Just have a quick look. Greater Restoration.
I don't
100
think
gold's
it's free,
worth of
is it?
diamond dust.
Diamond dust, 100 gold. Diamond dust. Thanks, Adam. Yeah, got it. So, okay, yeah. Let's slightly. Yeah, no. To this, Nikolai's going to look amazed, and he'll say, "So, Stella can be cured." And then you mention, Grace. Yeah, no, we can. Wow, we'll do everything in our power to try. Can you not assist? And he looks towards Jarek.
Who's Greta?
Stella, the
Oh.
Vokkr daughter.
Right.
Oh.
She was slightly insane, wasn't she?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll kind of place my hand on his shoulders to acknowledge that I feel he's made the right choice with his father. As far as helping with that, at the moment, that as powerful as I am, that is beyond my ability currently.
Well, we'll make sure that we have the funds. I think he'll sort of, we may need. Both mother and father had their secrets, but most of the secrets are in the house. We'll go into the places that we were forbidden to us before and see what we can do. When you return or when you're able to send us aid, we'll definitely have the requisite materials to help Stella. And they are the both of them looking at each other, amazed that their sister can be saved.
Anything else in this building, chaps, or are we done?
Yeah.
I don't think I think we've done.
Party disperse.
So what's the next port of call? The inn.
All I'll leave you with, you get the impression, but just to hammer it home, Nikolai will say that you have a friend of the Vokkr house. Thank you. As you walk off.
You've got a friend in me.
Well, you did have a friend until you sang at him.
I'll say thank you and give him a little short bow.
Is it Vasily? I know we've
I'll kind of
spoken
walk
about
off looking
Vasily.
on. Sorry.
Do they know Vasily? Is he likely to return? We know a few weeks when we first arrived, Vasily was visiting the house.
Yeah, they'll say, "Oh yeah, Vasily von Holtz. Yeah, of course we know Vasily. Yeah, he's a family friend. Great guy."
What a guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously, yeah, I'm trying to remember because we'd worked out. I'm not saying this to them. I'm just trying to get through what we'd got last time. We'd found paperwork from Vasily as a friend of the family from hundreds of years ago, hadn't we?
Correct.
So we'd got the impression that could be Strahd disguised.
That was the assumption that you came to at the time, yeah.
So I don't know how to put that into words. I don't know if anyone else has got any advice about their interaction with Vasily, or whether to just keep it normal.
I just keep it normal.
Yeah.
I mean, as normal as this situation is.
As I leave the premises, I look rather sheepishly as he says we've got a friend in the Vokkr household.
Yeah.
Have you stopped picking your teeth with their mothers?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's still just after breakfast time now, so we'll say sort of 10 o'clock in the morning.
So was this head into the inn? That's just round the corner from where we are, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not far. So let's take you to the map of Vallaki. You're currently Vokkr house here. The inn's just here.
And I don't know whether the friend of the Ravens should lead the discussion with potential were-ravens, the family that the Ravens are protecting.
Well, I'm more than happy for anyone to do that. So I mean, Jarek, even if I'm happy to shoot off my own, just to go and warn Father Lucian about these two people I've just unleashed on him. So if you guys want to investigate the pub, I'm quite happy just to nip off to Lord Lucian and then come back.
Okay, stay safe.
I kind of feel that the town's, as safe as this town ever is.
Yeah, you would.
On fire.
If you don't, I mean, if you don't mind, Adam, you'd know Father Lucian to know know him well enough to know that he would be accepting of them. He'd just take them in,
It's fine. Okay.
especially if they dropped your name. I mean, he loves you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine then. Okay, I'll stick with the party then. In that case.
So to the Blue Water Inn, you make it south
To the pub.
to the pub.
Wait for it all to blow over.
Outside, you can see Unwin and Danica clearing dead bodies, and there's a lot of death that seems to have happened around the inn. Mostly undead, but there's a few guards. But zombies, skeletons, ghouls, things of that nature. You certainly don't see anything that you would think of as a vampire spawn.
Is Danica his wife?
Danica, yeah, she's
Danica.
she was the wife. And Unwin obviously is the owner, and they see you approach as they're outside, and they're not. They're sort of dragging between the two of them, dragging the corpse of a guardsman, and they've got a cart, and you can see that there's already 4 corpses of guardsmen on the wagon as they load this last gentleman up, and Unwin will say, "Hail, gentlemen! A fell night last night. Nice to see that you've survived. Okay."
Yeah.
Oh, Ted, this is
Indeed.
you.
Do you need a hand with any of the bodies? It looks like you're quite busy.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, that'd be appreciated. This is, and he'll mention the cart, motion the cart. Say this is the last of the our defenders. The rest are all dead. We were going to start a pie around the back and just throw them on.
I can help you with that.
I'm your Huckleberry. So yeah, straight into it then. Unwin goes back, and Danica, and they're dragging corpses and bits of corpses. You can tell that. I mean, there's a couple of other people. The 2 young boys you don't see, but there's a couple of other people, patrons from the pub that you mentioned before. They don't seem fazed by this. It's almost as if this is the norm for them.
Happens once a
Yeah,
month.
dragging a zombie arm on a zombie leg behind.
No
round
body
the pub.
attached to it, just the arm and the leg.
Yeah, just picking up body parts and throwing them onto the pie around the back of the pub.
Bring out your dead.
I won't.
And it takes you a good couple of hours. So it takes us closer to lunchtime. As Unwin, sweat on his brow now as he sort of mops his brow, and he'll put his hand on Fester's shoulder and say, "Thanks for that. It would have took the rest of the day if you'd not helped out. Come on, let's get you something to eat and drink inside."
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, and he motions to the pub. Danica's disappeared. She disappeared about half an hour ago, so about an hour, and you can smell what smells like stew coming from the kitchen. It's, after a little bit of graft that you've all been helping out, you're ready for something to eat. So there's a couple of the patrons inside. They all sit around. You're all sat around the same table now. So there's a good. I mean, you 5, Unwin, Danica, and 2 other patrons. So there's 9 of you having sort of a communal eat and sup. So you've got wine and stew on the go. Everything seems quite peaceful. After the meal, it doesn't take them long. The 2 patrons make their excuses and say, "Yeah, we'll see you soon, Unwin," and they make their way out. You do notice that the 2 boys, Brom and Bray, were the 2 boys. They're on the landing, and you can see them stood on the landing. They're lying down on the landing, looking over. Their mother took
adult boys or young boys.
Young boys. They're possibly, I mean, the youngest maybe 8, eldest is perhaps a year or 2 older. And they're doing that thing where they're lying down, looking over. Danica took some stew up and they ate it on the banister. As you notice them, Unwin will say, "We're just trying to keep them away from as much as we can." I mean, they've seen so much already, but I mean, they're good lads. They can get into enough trouble by themselves, but we try and keep Keep them honest.
Put the line at carton corpses around.
I do enjoy carting the corpse.
Indeed.
Is there anything particularly magpie about the pub or raveny, whatever you want to
Yeah,
call it?
yeah. With your incredible passive perception, you notice, and now that you think about it, you've always seen ravens around this pub. Even as you've just approached, there are ravens around. Now, there's dead bodies here, there, and everywhere, but none of the ravens seem to be feasting on them. They were all held back, either flying around or sat on top of the inn. And even now, as you're sat talking to Unwin, you just notice that there's a raven hopping around inside, and it hops up onto the window, an open window, and then flies off. Let's have an actual perception check from Fest to that. Just to see if you can trump your passive.
I do like to trump.
I do like
23.
That's pretty good. I don't. So yeah. So 23. You would guess at the very least these ravens, the familiarity they have with the building and the Martikov family are at the very least pets.
There's something you can actually do with the ravens and crows. You can sort of get them to be friends.
Yeah, they're really, really intelligent.
Yeah. I'll just comment on the fact that you normally let the birds in the pub, and they just, assuming, help themselves to some food and then get away. They were reasonably helpful to us last night.
He'll look and say, "I was glad to hear it." Ravens are good luck. There's not much good luck in Barovia, but we cling to everything that we can. And he'll sort of hold a hand up, and he'll take a chunk of bread, the last chunk of bread. He'll mop up a bit of gravy, and he'll hold it up, and he'll whistle as a raven descends, lands on his arm, eats the bread and gravy. Even takes a scratch under the beak, and then flies off again. And he say, "Yeah, we look after them, and they give us luck."
Yeah, that's
Fair
good
play,
to hear. Only since coming to this area that we've found the ravens to be lucky, and so far in my interactions they've been very helpful. Made friends with a couple of them, but I was wondering if you could divulge any more information on
Okay.
historically them being helpful.
Yeah. Let's have a persuasion check then, Ted.
Not persuasion.
He'll say, they, well, like I say, they look after us and we look after them. I would suggest you do the same. I'm glad you've made friends with some of them. And he'll sort of not trying to change the subject entirely, but he'll say to you, "So you have abilities then? You're able to talk to or communicate with animals?"
Yes. Yeah,
Oh.
I've practiced for a while.
Oh, fascinating! You must show us sometime. Yeah, for now, if you'll forgive me, gentlemen, there's plenty of work for me still to do. You stay for as long as you like. Stew's in the pot. There'll be enough for tonight for the patrons tonight. Try not to drink too much wine. We are running very low now. And he looks a little bit like, sorry to ask you to do something after you've just helped us out, but I mean, I will remind you that. I mean, we could do the looking into the wine problem for us, but when you get around to it, and if you'll excuse me, then, gentlemen, I'll be going about my business.
Top of our list.
Can I just Columbo him?
Definitely.
Yeah. Just one more thing. We've been told about were-ravens, but I've never come across any before until we came here. Are you aware of any history that in the area at all? Or
Okay, he'll say quite. It's something that you've not seen with Unwin so far, as a landlord, as a purveyor of customer services. He sort of goes a little bit stony, and he'll say, "No, sorry, I don't. Good day."
Oh, good day.
Did you get a read on him, Fester?
You want an insight check, Ted? Plus 8. Yes, you do want an insight check. Okay. As you've mentioned, were-ravens, you can see it's almost indistinct. His pupils widen ever so slightly, and you can tell with his 25 that as soon as you mention were-ravens, whatever he tells you next, he's going to lie. But you know enough about this chap to know that he doesn't mean any harm by it. It's probably for protection more than anything else. So you did get some information, but you didn't get the roles quite right, which is a shame.
Yeah.
But
Monkey.
We'll be back this way at some point, won't we?
I mean, I think that's enough information for us to move on from for
antagonising
now,
him
isn't
any
it?
further
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's all the information, really. Your insight there gave us exactly the answer we needed without him saying it.
Yeah.
Columbo works every time.
Columbo.
Okay, what's next then, chaps?
The
wagon, wasn't it?
yeah.
Are we heading out then?
Vampire
Finally
King
heading
kid.
out.
We can't. I would say we said we were going today, didn't we? So we're going to have to head that way today. It's just whether we want to report back into the Baron and how we sell what we found back to the Baron.
He's with Lucy at the moment, isn't he? We left him at the church. Doesn't mean he's still there, but
Yeah.
we left him at the church.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, we should. Even if we don't report him, we need to get a message to him. But message might be better because then we don't have to deal with the twat.
We don't give him the opportunity to try and get angry that we're not staying.
The time.
It's not that. It's more. We can just tell him. We don't have to, deal with the fact he might ask him many questions about what we found and everything like that.
Yeah, say we've been called away on urgent business. We'll be back when we can.
Well, we already told him we were going away, didn't we?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It's literally just. It's literally just if we can get a letter in saying that blah blah blah. We went back to the site. The body was gone, etc. etc. Yeah. We'll just do that and get someone to deliver him the letter, and then we'll bugger off.
Yeah, if I think Unwin would be happy for one of the young lads to deliver a note, especially as it is Father Lucian and back. In fact, both of the lads will go together. They're quite happy to deliver a note.
That's fine. In which case, I'll give them a couple of copper coins each to say thanks.
Smash in. Yeah, no, they're all thanks, Mister. Whoa. So
Thanks, Mr. Jarek.
What? And just remind me specifically the message. How was it going to read? Just briefly.
Piss off, you arsehole. No, literally just to explain that we went to the site. The body of whoever was, the leader had been removed. Has been moved, not removed. Has been moved. So I'm not outwardly lying. I'm not saying we moved it or anyone else moved it.
Yeah.
that we searched the area and assisted with the cleanup of some of the, bodies and zombies around the centre of town. But our business, as we mentioned, has taken us away. We will return as soon as we are able.
Okay,
Yep.
fine.
Happy with that.
Right. So as to the rest of the arrangements, I changed the plan to meet Mordenkainen and Van Richten. So they were going to take the cart. Originally, I did say to Fester, pick up the cart and then take it with you. But then Van Richten said, no, wait a minute, no, that won't work. So all you need to do is head east and meet them on the road somewhere, and they'll have the cart with them.
Just imagine we'd gone to pick the cart up and it was just like, it's gone.
Yeah.
Someone bring the cart.
That's your car.
So you and this is it, is it? Are we heading towards the windmill? Yep. Okay. So you.
Oh no! Are we going to get a? Don't we need to be on full before we?
I'm on mute. Hold on.
Don't we need to make sure we've got all our spell slots, etc. before we?
Yeah,
take
we've
them?
agreed.
Right,
We haven't got time for a rest because we've agreed to
We're
meet
going
them.
to the mansion. We're not going straight to the hags. If we need to rest, the mansion's the safest place to do so.
Yeah, I like more.
Speed-wise, though, between me and Fester, can we all mount up? An option now.
Sorry, I misheard that. Who are we mounting? Fester or you?
Oh, literally Fester. But between us, if we can fit one of the heavily armoured and a lighter person on a horse, we can get all four of us on horseback.
Horse.
What
For an increased speed. Well, I can. Turns out I can now summon a horse.
Yeah, we don't do that, Dan. We know what happened.
They're aggressive, yes.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Horse.
Yes.
Yeah, we had it in the game on Tuesday, and the horse got the first kill of the combat.
You got a crit and one shot at a bandit.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Out of nowhere. Bandit didn't. Well, it was a guard. He didn't know what hit him.
So this is a spell, then, is it?
Second level spell, summon steed. Or summon a spectral version of a steed, which can go up to a warhorse.
Wicked.
And it lasts until I dismiss it or the horse dies.
Okay.
Is it going to be Casper as well?
No.
Oh.
Currently unnamed. It'll be Silver.
Casper the friendly horse.
Okay, so you've got options.
I can't guarantee this. Fester would also have to want to be the other mount.
How long was my summon bastard last for?
Didn't we say 2 hours last time?
Isn't it something to do with your level?
Druid level.
Is it half your druid level potentially?
Are we in that much of a hurry that it matters, or can we just get walking?
Because you got to 6, didn't you? So it's actually 3 hours now.
I'm sure Mordenkaiden's got a magnificent stable as well, so...
Well, let's make weird noises. That's what I like to do.
Cool. Oh, yeah. Conjure dickhead.
Magnificent Manch. Yeah, sorry. So, what we're doing? Ted's looking at Druid level.
Yeah. I think we should just, by whichever means we choose to go by, we'll go by it.
Yeah, I mean, we can be talking about this on the way. Both those steeds appear out of nowhere.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, is there a spare cart? We could always do it that way instead.
No, there's no spare cart.
We had one, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was towed back to us on the Black Carriage.
Could we? I'm sure the Rokkr lads must have a horse as well.
Yeah, go on then. Yeah, no. Now that you've mentioned it, because you attached it to the back of Strahd's carriage, didn't you?
We brought it back to town with us.
Yeah, sure. So that's at Avasek Stockyard. So you can pick up the carriage. You've now got a druid that can turn that, because that's what you were doing last time. Your steed, as you summon it, you expect a sort of a spectral mount bathed in radiant light, but you actually get some kind of old undead looking nag with rotting flesh red eyes and steam coming out of it. It looks vicious and evil, but it still follows the
Not what I was expecting. Maybe I won't call it silver.
Yeah, he looks like a Jeff.
Call it tarnished.
Yeah.
No, his name's Reaper.
Nice.
Did you ask him that, or did you tell him that?
I can. Well, we also found out I can speak telepathically, can't I?
Yeah.
I'll do Reaper. I told him.
Reaper would be able to pull the carriage by himself, I'll say, if that helps.
In which case, Ted, if you, as long as you don't have a
Jump in the
desire
back in my horse shape.
So off you go. It's the journey, even by cart, to get to the old bone grinder. It's sort of past midday now. You're gonna have to camp at some point, unless you want to travel through the night. So that will take you east along the Svalich Road, and as it goes east, it'd be that way for you, wouldn't it? So as it goes east, it naturally bends round and undulates round the base of a mountain, and then eventually gets to the windmill. If you rode through the night, by dawn you'd get there.
To the place we were told?
Yeah, to the windmill.
Oh, I thought we were getting there in a day. We're not going straight to the windmill, are we?
We're heading to the windmill. They were going to meet us somewhere along the road. They didn't say where.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, we're waiting for them to meet us.
It was just head for the windmill. They will meet us.
So let's do that first then, because I can incorporate them into the decision making. And an hour or two out from Vallaki, you can see in the distance Rictavio's cart. And as you get closer, you can clearly see Rictavio and Mordenkainen sat on the top of his cart, and they wave and gesture to you as you pull alongside. So you've got two well, it's single file actually. The track isn't that wide, but you stop briefly and exchange greetings. So what's the plan?
Set off and wait till we get steady pace, not rushing, not dawdling. As long as everyone's cool with that, just waddling along. It's a nice day for Barovia.
So, can we long rest in the wagon whilst we're going?
Did you say we'd met Mordenkainen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we not formulating a plan in his mansion, or are we not at the mansion?
No, you've just caught up with them on the road.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I leapt into that far too quickly. I'm trying to rush onto it. So you've met up with them. Your wagon is behind theirs. But you've stopped. You've all dismounted, and you're having a chinwag as to what the plan going forward will be.
First, it would make them aware of what happened in town last night.
Sure. Yeah, they were on the verge of actually riding into town to see if you needed any assistance when everything seemed to settle down. So they continued forwards, but both of them seemed to have signs of being in some kind of fracas.
Kerfuffle, would you say?
Kerfuffle.
Yeah.
If we are going to formulate a plan rather than on the road, would it be better to do it away from hearing ears?
Well, we should set off when it gets dark. Mordenkainen's with us. I'll ask him if he can pop his mansion up when it gets dark. We'll have a sleep in safety, and then it'll be a nice fresh start. We'll go and get the hags. How does that sound?
Yeah, Mordenkainen and Van Richten agree. So yeah, seems reasonable.
Do it.
Are we happy with what everyone's preparing for the Mordenkainen will say this. Are we happy with the spells that you're preparing? Are you ready for this?
Again, is
not
this
ready for a fight? No, I want to rest.
This is the sort of thing we'd be discussing in the mansion, just in case hags are listening. We don't really want to divulge what we're bringing to the fight when they're potentially listening.
Sounds reasonable.
I don't think we can in the mansion.
No, they can't. That's the point. So we're not going to discuss it on the walk.
So Van Richten will say that there is a natural bend in the road where he's camped before, just off the road, which, if you wake up at first light, will get you to the windmill around 8 o'clock in the morning.
I'm really
if that
excited to be
seems
adventuring with Mordekainen. Really excited. I'm sort of having a little bounce.
if that seems reasonable, that's Van Richten's best estimation. Okay, so Mark, would you roll a d20 for me, please?
Me?
Yes,
Me?
please.
I'm sure I can do that.
Okay, so the rest of the day passes without any incident. You make it to this bend in the road as it's approaching dusk. It's perhaps half an hour or so just before dusk. The sun is low in the sky, and Van Richten gestures to where he's camped before. It's not far off the road at all. You can see the road from where he's camped, but he says this is kind of the best that we can do. It's almost like a lay-by where you can get both of the wagons in. And Mordekainen sort of looks around and he gestures to the location that he's going to start casting his magnificent mansion, which he's quite happy to start doing unless anyone else has got any other business.
I'm quite happy to wait till we go inside and it's utterly safe without any possibility of badness.
Okay.
When we get inside, I think we should use up, if we can, use our spell slots to heal, save using hit dice. We might need.
Taking a long rest will just heal.
Do you heal to full after a long rest?
You do,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a short
Oh,
rest, you need the hit dice.
No, that makes even more sense. Just do not.
Double check. D&D Beyond comes in handy.
Yeah, I'm just having to play
Long
with
rest
what.
is full heal and half your hit dice back.
Okay. So the current position, then you're on this bend of the road. There's a lay-by where the two carriages are parked up. The one horse that you do have has got a nose bag on. Van Richten's in the back of his. He's throwing some meat into Daphne in the back. And you hear purring as he starts to come back towards you, just off on the road. Mordekainen starts. He will tell you that it takes a minute or so to prepare. When Festa and Rokkr notice movement in the brush, as you spin round, you see from one side two figures. And then you hear in the opposite direction from the other side, you hear something else and spin round. Chamo's acting it out. Another figure. These figures have blue skin, long, lank hair, wrinkles, horns, dressed in robes as they all three step into the road. Let's roll initiative.
Hey.
Right, wait a minute. Before you roll, let me just, because I'm actually going to have to change your map.
Turn it into a little drawing of some chicken.
Would have had a short rest on the
Yes,
carriage, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Can we all assume we've had a short rest?
Yeah, that's no problem.
I'll
I would have used a hit dice.
Well, have I used a spell slot?
Right, so let's put you all on. The map will be there in a second, hopefully.
No, I actually have.
Right. Best, I just need to make you all visible.
How many D10 do I get?
Well, however many you want to use, one at a time. You get a dice equal to your level, but you only get half back on a long rest.
Half of what I
one
roll.
at a time. No,
half of what
of
you
your
use.
total.
So
a
if
level
you use
6, you'd get 3 back on a long rest.
3.
It says I can use 6 on this.
Yeah, you can. You can use 6, but you'll only get 3 back when you have a long rest. It's just letting you know.
Yeah, then you'd get 2 back. No, would you? No, you get. I don't know. What you get next time?
You get 3. 3 is half a 6 always.
That's true.
Okay, chaps, have you got the map?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
this is the bend in the road. The wagon is just over here where Rictavio's just jumped out the back of it. The second wagon's over here. We can cross that bridge if we need to get to it. Mordenkainen is preparing his spell over here. He's looking in this direction. So you've heard 2. It'll be 2 here and 1 here.
Right. Well, I haven't seen anything, so I'm just carrying on. Well,
Yeah, well, it's everyone's going to roll initiative anyway. But those everyone other than the 2 wood elves don't get or are surprised.
Yeah, fucking wood elves coming in, taking out gerbs.
Have you seen the new rules for surprised?
No, dude, tell me.
They'd put it in the first set, but hadn't explained it. They'd kind of hinted at it.
Okay,
So there's no surprise.
right.
If it's effectively
No
you get
alarms, are there?
advantage or disadvantage. If you surprise them, you have advantage on your initiative roll. If you're surprised, you have disadvantage.
It
Interesting.
just means they go first rather than get a whole round.
Yeah, so surprised or incapacitated, example, asleep, you have disadvantage rather than,
Right.
and there's no surprise. It's an interesting.
Okay, let's give it a whirl then. So I'm just going to roll initiative on D&D Beyond then. So 18,
What's up?
20. Okay.
From what I'd gathered, that was how it worked.
Initiative. Okay, that's no, I like that. So so they're actually so everyone that didn't have initiative needs to roll with disadvantage.
How do I do that on?
What we'll do is we'll do it on D&D Beyond.
Roll again, and if it changes,
Yeah.
which mine probably will, because I got a high roll. So it's a roll initiative, isn't it?
Mine's fine where it is because I rolled a lot higher on Beyond.
I rolled a lot lower. Mine gone from 17 to 3.
I'll roll shot. Yeah, I doubt I'm going to get any worse, but I'll do it again.
Sorry, why are we rolling on?
You don't need to, mate.
We are, mate.
Yeah, you don't need to.
We've got pointy ears.
You knew they were there. We didn't, so we've got disadvantage.
You heard them and didn't tell us because you're really, really useful scouts.
Okay.
I'm not a scout.
You'll never be a scout with your dog hanging out.
Right. So from out of the brush, from one side, you can see 2 night hags. You can see Bella and Ophelia one side, and you can see Morgantha the other side.
I feel you, Dickie.
Jim, Rokkr's the first to react to this, which works out quite well for you. Just before we launch into it, Fester, are you staying where you? Yes, because you don't have.
Can I say I'm going to I'm planning to do lower vulnerability. So if anybody wants to stand by
Hold
me,
up, Mark. Hold up. It's
Whoa,
not your
whoa.
go yet.
You were
no,
long
I'm just
ahead.
telling everyone I'm planning to do that, so they don't.
Yeah, but you can't tell us that until it's your turn.
Well, I'm trying to benefit you, but if you don't want me to, that's fine.
It's not that. We'd love to be benefited, but we can't.
That's how the rules work.
We can't
Anyway,
know.
right. So when we saw 2 come out the bushes first, and then saw the last one.
Yeah. What I'll do
Yeah.
just to start off with, are you happy with your position? Because you're just there. I mean, if you wanted to move yourself, what would you have been doing? Talk me through it. I'm quite happy to change your position if you wanted to do something else.
So we'd come from this direction.
You came from this direction. Mordenkainen's here. Wagons are here. So you've backtracked a little bit to create this camp. In fact, just start from there. It's just easy.
Yeah. I can't see any. So I'm because I believe I'm going to be facing Mordenkainen, because I've heard that and then quickly turn this way. I'm not
I'm going to go and
going
over the
that way,
room
so
while
shooting
it
my
could be a week
first.
till my go.
So I'm going to apply cast Hunter's Mark.
Yeah. Which one?
On Morgantha, sorry.
On Morgantha, yeah.
Yeah, not
Mordenkainen.
on the
Gone
ally,
really
please.
wrong.
Not Mordenkainen, sorry. And then I'm going to. I might do this on my phone because the computer, for some reason, is rubbish. Right. Updating sources. So I am getting there. Gameplay.
So just for the group, obviously, Mordenkainen did tell us that we only nearly need to get one of them, didn't he?
That was
And
the
that'll
plan.
break their.
Does that roll on your screens?
It does.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
23
Does
hits.
that hit?
It does.
And then plus the 6. So I hold and no, don't hold. Tap.
Has JMO got advantage? Not
Still-
night time yet.
Still daytime.
Oh,
It
you.
was half an hour before dusk.
Oh, what?
You have to listen, Dan.
Okay.
Convenient.
What type of arrow was that, Jim?
Nighttime. Daytime.
If you'll allow it, I would have been prepared already, knowing that this was the fight that we were getting.
That's fine. Yeah.
He was the one that told me I needed a silver sword, so I assume he'd
Yes.
remember.
Yes,
Yeah.
mate. Yeah, absolutely.
It would have.
So 11 damage. First shot.
Right. Second. No, 15.
15 misses.
Misses. Third.
So this is your Dread Ambusher.
Yup. Yarp. 18.
18 just hits.
Ooh.
Well, hits +1.
And a D6 and a D8.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, another 11 damage. That's your main damage dealer. Any move?
Yeah, what's my range? Can I still... Is she going to be hidden if I move further down the path or move?
Well, actually, to be in fairness, that 18 probably should have missed. You have, let's say you had a line of sight on her, but she's in the brush, so you're going to struggle.
Does that still give me line of sight there, stood next to Mordenkainen?
Yeah, you can still see all of them, but they are in cover.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about... Well, that's a good point, actually. No, I'm going to stand next to the Uber wizard.
Okay, seems fair. So that takes us to Ophelia.
I can still hear you.
Okay.
They just double checking they didn't have any concentration checks off that.
No. But
Yeah,
thanks, Dan. Yeah, no, it's always worth checking. What I'm going to ask for 3. So Ophelia steps. Oh, let me. Oh, they're not on grid. Let me snap them to grid. So Ophelia is going to step forward. And Ophelia will start to say to you, clever boys, how did you do it? How did you do it? And as she does this, she points towards Akxikas, Jarek, and Nik all three. Akxikas is back. Akxikas, Jarek, and Mark need to make wisdom saving throws, please.
But Akxikas, Jarek, and Mark, or
No,
Mark
sorry.
gets 2.
Akxikas,
Natural
Jarek,
One for
one.
Akxikas and one for yourself,
And-
Mark. This could
and
be a
Nick.
problem.
Natural
what,
one,
what am I
Dave.
rolling? A wisdom saving throw.
wisdom save. Yeah,
Mark, you've got inspiration.
you have inspiration for next round because you rolled a natural one.
Oh dear. I don't think I've got anything to boost that.
Just double check.
Fuck off, cat.
So Nik and Akxikas, you're both paralysed with a hold person spell.
Righty-ho. Where you go? Sorry.
So Bella now steps forward. You all right, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit loud, mate.
Oh, I thought I covered the microphone. Obviously, I didn't.
A mute button.
Put it on mute. That works.
I'll
Bella,
just chase him.
Bella now steps forwards and she will say, Tell us how you did it, you.
Can I point out if they paralyse us all, we can't tell them.
And she, in fact, she's going to step out of the brush there, not out of opportunity attack, just before you mention it. She's going to skirt round. And Bella now will look around and she'll say, New friends. And now you have new friends as well. More to torture. So Rokkr
Isn't there?
and Fester. He can still hear us.
He's hidden.
Wisdom saving throws, please.
On wisdom, boys. Oh, my camera's gone off.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to where I was. For some reason, it turned itself off.
Okay, mate.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Weird that I only get +5 to that. But my other wisdom abilities I get +8 to.
You're not proficient in your saving throw. That comes from your class, so druids don't get it.
Right, we'll apply Jim's in a bit because it's going to be, by the looks of it, it's going
Not
to
have inspiration, but
Not good.
inspiration sat there for ages and still not done anything with it.
There's not a Mordenkainen wanted to counter any of these now.
Fortunately,
He's got he's last on initiative, isn't he? Well, he would have.
Yeah, reactions, camp spells are reaction. And he's currently concentrating on his magnificent mansion.
He was casting it as this happened.
Yeah.
He's going to keep casting.
Yeah, so we just need Jim to save. Bella's finished her turn, so we'll move on to Morgantha's turn. Morgantha will step up to Fester, and she's
going to get the real life now, not just the dream.
Yeah, and she's right up as Fester's like ready for action, frozen, and she gets right up into Fester's face, and she'll say, "Tell us how you did it. Tell us." How would?
Thankfully, I was frozen like this.
I would like. Now the rules don't state this, but I'm going to ask for another wisdom saving throw from Fester. I'm going to ask you to do it at disadvantage because you're held.
Just do 2. Hang on, dickhead, can't I? There you go.
Okay, so for the people that were facing, I mean, Jarek, you're spinning round. Rokkr would see this. Mordenkainen, as he's gesturing, he's now sort of still. You can see he's concentrating on his spell, but he's looking over his shoulder. As you see Fester collapse and fold, and it's like jerking motion as it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and turns into a toad.
Hey.
To which Morgantha picks you up and
In
puts
the
you in a
bag.
bag. As she continues to say, "We'll find out how you did it. Which one of you was it?" All right, Jim. Wisdom saving throw, please, dude.
Wisdom saving throw. So is that the top ones? Yeah.
Disadvantage, wasn't it, as well, Dave?
Saving throw.
No, only for you, Ted, because you
Oh,
were
it's only for
already. Because you'd already failed the first one.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I've used the computer, so we'll be here an age. Apologies. Suspension's terrible.
Can I do anything as a toad other than ribbit?
In theory, but all you can see at the minute, I mean, you saw the world got bigger and bigger and bigger as you shrunk down, and you can see Morgantha's hand, use my camera, reaching towards you, and she plucked you up and squeezing you, and then all you see is darkness at the entrance to her soul bag, and then just darkness while you're in there.
Toads don't ribbit.
Jim, you are paralyzed from a hold person spell.
Right,
Alright,
we're all
it's
fucked.
only-
That's all of us.
Only 4 out of 5 of us.
No, I think you'll find I'm still alive.
Well, I hope you can take 3 hags.
Nope.
No, he's just got to break the concentration on one of them.
I'm just going to be running.
So Mordenkainen, he's going to have to stop. He's going to have to stop casting. He's going to have to do something about this.
Really?
Yeah.
Good. This is what
I'd
we
have
had
been
him for.
pretty miffed if he decided to finish casting his stupid house.
Can you imagine? He is.
It depends. If he cast it and it landed on him, that'd be fine.
He's going to cast. First action, he's going to cast Time Stop.
Of course.
Whoa.
My best bet is Spirit
Does that you get
Guardian.
4 spells?
No, that means he gets 5 turns.
Cool.
If he any aggressive action, that takes up 1. So first action is going to be Mage Armor. Second action is going to be Mirror Image.
I'm looking forward to this.
Third action is going to be Stone Skin. 3.
Is he actually expecting to try and hit it?
3. Fourth action is going to cast True Seeing. Which takes him to his last action. He's going to cast Bigby's Hand.
Yes!
Bigby's hand!
Bigby's Head! I need to be careful now. He's going to cast... He's going to have to do it at 8th level. He's going to cast Bigby's Hand at 8th level. Now, here's where I'm struggling. Who would he? I mean, it's Mordenkainen. Who would? Yeah. Okay. I know.
What's he going for? Which kind of hand?
Ow.
He's going to go for clenched fist.
Just punch it.
Shit in his hand first.
So it's spell attack plus 10. Bigby's Hand doesn't give me a plus 10 for some reason. Doesn't. So
This is there's going to be a really large hand floating
Is it
around.
spell attack or is it the strength of the hand?
No, it's spell attack. So plus
He's
10,
got a strength
18.
I think got a strength of 19. The hand, but anyway, it's really strong.
It used to be higher than that.
I don't think that's how it. A strength of 26.
Oh, you know.
And he's going to cast it against Morgantha. So what you guys see as Mordenkainen, if any of you are pointing towards him, you just see a blur of motion. He just seems to be whizzing round.
Is Morgantha the only one that's not concentrating on a whole person?
Yeah.
Cool.
She is, however, concentrating on
Polymorph.
On a held frog. On a held toad.
On a held frog.
On a held frog.
So
he just
can't,
follow a toad?
even, I know, can't even ribbit.
So Mordenkainen goes from here in a blur of motion. You see 3 other Mordenkainens appear around him. A shimmering shield appear. His skin turns into stone briefly, and these various other spell effects. And you can see his eyes glint just briefly until they settle. And then this hand, this, what colour should we do? This black hand actually looks skeletal. Just in Barovia appears and twats Morgantha. 4.
That was 45 damage.
45 points of damage.
So it actually needs a natural 20 to keep polymorph.
Well, no, because she gets her modifier.
Well,
yeah,
close to, yeah. It's high.
It's high. So
DC 22.
Concentration. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll roll this so she gets. I'm not going to tell you the plus 3, but I'm going to roll it on. I'm just going to roll the d20 on Mordenkainen's
penis.
She's passed.
Okay. It's at least +7. That'd have been a brilliant way to take the bag out of game, because that's the way they go ethereal. If Ted rips the bag open as he turns back into a human inside it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just double check. So what she got to pass?
22. Assuming it's rounded down like normal.
Yeah.
It's half the damage.
What did I roll? 15.
15.
15 certainly.
So 22 is +7.
So she needs to roll 22.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she's failed it by 1. She's failed it.
Wow.
Right. So.
Wow.
So the toad. I'll put you a toad up, but you don't need it.
Good design.
Can we keep it?
However, you are still held.
The hag bag has been destroyed. It was in the hag bag when he just giant formed.
Well, turned into Ted.
Oh, missed a trick there. Okay, never mind. Yeah, okay. So as this clenched fist punches into Morgantha, it knocks her off. I don't think it actually physically knocks her off her feet.
It just hurts.
Yeah. And she's staggered back as Fester becomes an elf again. Yeah, and rips the bag apart.
So she can't go ethereal anymore.
She still has a Hearthstone.
What was it more? Because Mordenkainen told, or Rictavio told us what the hag bag's purpose was.
It's the soul bag is to trap souls. It's the Hearthstone, Heartstone that
which is kept in the bag.
Yeah.
That's probably on the floor now.
On the floor.
So that ends Mordenkainen's turn. Takes us to.
That's all you've got.
Fester. And you can all hear now all 3 of these women saying, "Who is this? Who is this? Who is it? It's him." So they seem to recognise him. Fester. The only thing that you can do, mate, is make a wisdom saving throw at the end of your turn.
So that'll be me trying to make a wisdom saving throw then. Okay, I still have got this inspiration. Can I use that at all?
Sure.
I've had it for fucking donkeys.
Well, it should have gone at the end of a long rest.
Oh, okay.
But if Beans is
It's he gained it from before we did the rule.
yeah. Go for it, Ted.
So that's just 2 rolls, yeah.
Yeah, if you hold it down.
Click advantage.
Yeah, no, nothing's coming up.
Okay.
You're on a laptop.
Yeah.
Oh, right
Click.
Dickheads.
Yeah, it's just roll it twice.
Ted, you're rolling checks, not throws. Your saving throws higher.
Oh, what was that then?
Your checks are at +5. Your saving throws are at +8. I thought they were a bit low when you rolled them earlier.
I did say why I was at +5 instead of.
Why don't you just click on the wisdom thing in the
So
saving throws box?
So we're saying it's first
Sorry,
one's
yeah,
only
there's
roll.
a box that says saving throws. That's why I completely missed it.
I don't think he'd have saved in the first ones. He might have saved the frog. He certainly didn't save the wisdom, the other one. I don't know about the frog.
Oh,
Yeah, the
forgot
frog
Once
he got
again,
14 with the extra
Could have done
plus.
that. Right, 24.
24. Okay. So you're no longer paralysed, but that is the end of your turn. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Which takes us to
Stick 2 fingers up at him.
yeah. Which takes us to Rictavio, who starts to run over.
Sing them a song.
And he's going to use his 5th level slot, and he's going to cast Dispel Good and Evil. So it's Dispel Good and Evil. It's a pretty good spell. It's similar to Protection from Good and Evil, but you can break it at will. And one of the things that you can do is, as an action, you can make a spell attack against a celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or an undead you can reach. On a hit, you attempt to drive the creature back to its home plane, so he can basically send another creature back to its home plane with this spell. So shimmering energy surrounds him as he steps forward. It's definitely radiant energy coming from Rictavio / Van Richten. So they all get disadvantage on attack rolls against him by the yep. So that's going to be his turn. Jarek.
I'm going to fire up Spirit Guidance, I think, because that's, I believe, from where I am, should catch all of them, at least forcing a concentration check, hopefully, or other stuff.
Okay.
So, casting Spirit Guardians, I'll have my 15 feet sphere, please.
Oh, God. That'll do. That 15 feet? No. What?
15?
Really not 15 feet.
15?
Yeah.
Yeah. Call for spirits, they flip around you at a distance of 15 feet for the duration.
Okay.
It's just the size of the map. Was that a 15-foot? There we go. That's more like it. I got very confused.
Yeah, I've not got circles on this one. I'll try and faff it.
No circles? How rude.
Yeah.
That's fine. I can form the shape of a gelatinous cube for a bit. So they need a saving throw of some form of nonsense. A wisdom DC 15.
It's not right now, is it? It's the start of their turn.
No.
Yeah. Or they move into it, I guess.
When the creature affects creature speed is harder than the air, blah, blah, blah. When the creature enters the area for the first time or starts their turn, it must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes blah, blah damage. Yeah.
They didn't enter it. It was put upon them.
Yeah. So that's my action for the turn. So it's not really put me doing anything else because I've got them all within range there. So I'm quite happy.
There you go. Yeah, sound. Nik Ana's turn.
Saving. I have got a wisdom saving throw, and that's my turn.
Okay.
What's that? Bad. My turn is done.
Yeah. Akxikas, wisdom saving throw at the end of your turn. That's all you can do, pretty much.
What do I have to beat?
Well, I'm not going to disclose that, but you've failed.
Right, in that case, I'll use me favoured by the gods.
Yep.
And add 2d4 to it.
Good thinking, mate.
Right. That's first one. Obviously.
You've passed.
Way.
He's not going to disclose what the saving throw is, but it's 15.
I'm too generous. So that takes us back to the top of the tree. Okay. Jim, saving throw, wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. Come on.
That's a check as well. Unless it's
16.
the same.
Yeah, you've rolled a check, mate. Is your plus the same on saving
But is
throw?
it the same?
It is plus. Yeah, it's the same, +3.
That'll
Sorry.
do it. Yep. The end of
Apologies. It does say saving throw. To be fair though, at the top it doesn't. Where's the camera? It doesn't say check. It says saving throw just underneath. Makes it on the phone.
Yeah.
But it's the same. Thank you.
Okay, you've
Ooh.
passed. But that does end your turn. So
That's it.
on to
Can't do a bean.
Can't do a bean,
No.
mate. No, it's specifically
Okay.
at the end of your turn. Right. So Ophelia.
Dicky.
With wisdom save, please, Ophelia.
Yes, mate. Yep. Sure.
Get They all rolled in a cluster then, didn't they?
Yeah. What's your DC?
15.
Okay. So Ophelia fails. I'm gonna. Sorry. Bella fails. I'm gonna do Ophelia then Morgantha. Bella.
Are you doing them all now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. No, I'm not.
Because it could
No.
dictate what the rest of the turns are.
Yeah,
If
it
you-
could. So she fails. Roll your damage.
Ophelia's failed, so she takes a modest 7.
7, and she's got a
Yes, please.
concentration saving throw of 10.
She's the one holding Nick, I believe, isn't she?
Yeah,
She's the other one.
she passes quite easily.
I don't know why I'm looking at the screen. It's not going to appear for me.
Is that because you're a penis?
Not quite.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, Ophelia, is going to. Who? She's holding Nick,
Oh, that's adorable.
isn't she?
Is it gently in her arms, baby fashion?
Yeah, that's her turn, right?
She's going to break concentration.
Marvellous. And then recast it.
Yep.
On me.
She's going to upscale this. She's going to cast it on all 5 of you. All make another wisdom saving throw, please.
See if
This
we can
is the
roll
one.
Sorry.
one.
My concentration spell still carries on if I get held.
Depends
No.
if it's a whole person.
No, so I'm going to use my inspiration on mine.
Sure.
you
14. I failed again.
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh,
Yeah. So it'll be a week till I get another saving throw. I'll be having a week.
right. So Nick, paralysed. Rokkr, paralysed.
This is why I despise whole person.
Akxikas, paralysed. Fester, okay. Jarek, paralysed. Right. So now...
Is there a moment in between the holds where I can just shout?
Sure.
Hit her! And then
That
I'll
doesn't
help
help.
again. I'm frozen, pointing at her.
Right. Oh, you.
Right. So Jarek, you're no longer concentrating. As the spell drops. Bella's turn. Okay, no, she's going to have to cast it now. She walks over to Fester.
All right, love.
Wrong again?
Wisdom saving throw, please, Fester.
Today.
Not
Eat some
I was
beans,
gonna
fucker.
today.
It'd be amazing if you could use their spells to break all 3 bags. That'd be incredible.
And Morgantha is going to do exactly the same. You know what's happening? They're trying to turn you into a frog. So she's going to ask you to make a wisdom saving throw as well.
Ooh.
You've passed. Mordenkainen's turn.
Isn't it, Bella?
Come on, you
Isabella.
fuzzy bastard.
Ophelia.
Yeah, no, he knows the deal. He's still gonna have to be careful.
He's got Bigby's hand up still, hasn't it? It doesn't go. It's not a one-shot thing. It lasts for like a minute or something.
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
it?
true. It's concentration, isn't it?
What did I turn into?
So you've not turned into anything. If
An absolute bellend.
I think you can't turn
That's
into
what
an
we said.
absolute bellend.
He's not turned into anything.
there you go.
I have put sexy orc books on the chat for you, there, Mark.
Sorry?
I put some sexy orc books on the chat for you.
Let's have a look.
12. That's an easy hit. And it's concentration, so he gets the same spell level. So it's 8th level.
Big hit, come on.
Oh, they're really good, mate. They are really good. How much do you get for painting one? How much do you charge for? I take it you do commissions.
I've only done it for shop, and they just gave me store credit stuff.
Oh, fair enough. The amount of what it costs, you probably get worth that.
Yeah.
Concentration saving throw. She rolls poorly, so you're all out.
All of us.
Yep. You're all free.
I'm still pointing.
Well, while we're on the subject of all free, because Hunter's Mark would have dropped as well. So, oh wait a minute, I'm doing too much here. That's gone. She would have had. These two would have had to have dropped concentration. Yeah, so that's that's Mordenkainen's turn. He's concentrating on the hand, and you can see as he's casting this spell, the hand is doing exactly as his hand is. Vesta, your turn. You good to go? Sorry, mate, I spoke over you then.
What's the weather like?
It's a typical Barovian day. It's a little bit stormy. It's a little bit.
A bit stormy.
Well, it's not. Does it need to be stormy? Because it's
pre-existing.
It's overcast.
It used to be if there was dark clouds. There had to be dark clouds.
I'm not going to give you. Yeah, I'm not going to give you stormy. It's yeah.
Did you say stormy conditions and all that?
Yeah.
Or was it? It had to be raining. I can't remember. But I mean, God, it's probably changed since then. Anyway, that was first edition.
Yeah, we're gonna
probably know the same.
We're gonna have some lightning.
You're gonna do what, mate?
We're gonna have some lightning.
Lightning.
Call lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it needs to be. It'll be some area where I'm.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm not even going to put the thing up because everyone's within range. Where are you gonna? Where are you gonna bring the noise?
We're going the other side of within 5 minutes. So
I'm struggling to hear you, mate.
It'll be the other side of her, so it's only 5 foot. So it'll only hit her.
Other side of who?
Morgantha.
So just hitting Morgantha. Righto. Has she got a dex save?
Yeah. 16.
Fails it.
But otherwise it's halved, isn't it? But doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not best.
Okay, you good with D10s? You got a 9. That's good.
Okay, Morgantha takes a bolt of lightning and she hisses at you. And she'll sort of say, as you've gone through this whole polymorph into a frog and then back and then held and then not, these powerful friends you found, making this interesting. As Rick Tavio steps forward now. And he's going to attempt to spell attack against 7. He rolls 2.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, I know he struggled there. That's unfortunate. Jarek, you're up.
Shall I quick look see if there's anything worth doing off Just going to get held again next turn, so I don't really want to do anything concentration-wise. I'm just going to smash a guiding bolt into one of them.
Okay,
Yeah.
which one?
If in doubt, twat it.
It's going to have to be Ophelia, being as she just held me, and that really pees me off.
Okay.
So, guiding bolt. I'm going to pop it up to 2nd level. I think just for a little bit extra. But is it worth extra? No, just leave it at first. It's only not worth the extra d6 or anything. So, click cast, click roll to hit. 20.
20 hits.
12 radiant.
Got it.
And the next attack that goes against her before my turn gets advantage.
There you go. Little guarding bolt symbol. Next turn.
Considering the plan was to lay into one of them, I'm going to swing around, look at Morgantha.
Yep.
I'm going to channel divinity as my bonus action.
Yep.
And for the next minute,
So
I
is
have
that still
advantage.
10 turns? Is it 10 turns?
Yeah.
Minute.
I'm hoping she's not still alive after 10 turns, to be honest.
Yeah.
So where is it? I have empty as a bonus action. Choose a creature I can see within 10 feet. She's there. For the next minute, I have advantage on every attack roll against her.
Okay.
So I'm laying
Nice.
into her with 2 advantaged silver hexblade weapons.
Let's go for it.
So oh no, that's a damage dice. I wanted to right click on this one and roll advantage. Roll. Oh. Wow, that'll miss.
That misses, dude.
Second attack.
Yeah. 20 hits.
Okay, first level smite.
Okay.
Using my Warlock Pact slot.
Sure.
So
That feels good.
with it being a silvered weapon, do you need me to roll Radiant separately, or all as one?
All as one, please.
Okay, so this is +6, and she's a fiend.
Yeah.
So I've got 4d8 +6 total. +6 is 17.
Okay. That stings her.
And-
As you wound her down, where would it be? Down her sort of left flank as you're singing towards it. The wound itself hisses with the radiant and the silver.
Was she the one that polymorphed Ted into a bag?
Yes.
I'd like to shuffle around, and if I can see the stone on the floor, kick it as far away as possible as I shuffle around her.
It's not there.
Okay.
Akxikas.
Right. Globe of invulnerability.
I will move to there, so we're not all together.
I need to move. Do I need to move? Yes. So I'm going to move because I want to get all of us and none of them.
Okay.
Is there any
You're gonna get hit.
Move. You stood next to someone.
Oh, I'll get hit. She can't cast a spell on me, can she? As a reaction.
They do have reactions.
We don't know.
Oh. Okay. So I'll move back to just in front of Rictavia. That's. There's no way I can get everyone in.
Won't they be trapped in it as well?
I don't think there's any way I can make that actually relevant at this stage.
If it's Globe in vulnerability, if they're inside it, it doesn't affect. Like nothing can pass through it. If they're inside it, they can cast spells.
That's pointless. Okay. Let's see. I am going to I'll cast Wall of Force in a what's it say?
Nice.
Hemispherical dome or sphere with a radius of 10 feet. So I'm cast that one of the ones that's on that we have. Where's at Bella, the one who's right in my face.
Right.
So I'm gonna make a wall of force appear between us, but it's going to be It's going to be a spherical
So it's just
with her in
a
it.
bubble.
You're going to put her in a bubble.
Yes. And apparently, I don't even have to roll.
And there's no saving throw 'cause you're not targeting her, you're just making a wall of force.
Just making a bubble, yeah.
Okay, so it's okay.
It's a concentration spell.
Yeah.
Let's just read it out to you. Visible wall of force springs into existence at a point within range. It appears in every orientation you choose, which I'll not read all them. It includes a sphere.
Yeah.
Or you can shape a flat surface, blah, blah, blah. It lasts for the duration. If a wall cuts through a creature's space, it's pushed to one side or the other. Nothing can physically pass through the wall. It is immune to all damage and cannot be dispelled by dispel magic. Disintegrate destroys it instantly. The wall extends to the ethereal plane, blocking ethereal travel. That's it. That's all it says. So she doesn't get to do fuck all until I stop concentrating or let
Does
it
that
go.
block the coven? It's not a different plane, is she? So
No, it's not a different plane. She no. If she went ethereal, then yeah. But okay, Mark. What and how long does it last for?
10 minutes, but it's concentration.
Okay, gotcha. So you're concentrating on that. She's in the wall of force now. Do you want to move?
Yeah, she can't hurt me. So,
Can we roll the ball of force like a hamster wheel?
I think I can do what the fuck I like with it as long
no,
as
you can't move it.
Can you not move? Oh no, we can't kick it
now.
around.
It'd be hilarious, but
Because if you could move it, so could she.
Yeah, that's true.
and then it really would be a hamster ball.
He's gone.
I'm off in the ball. Right, yeah, I'm gonna move to there, and I don't think I can do anything else.
Right, Rokkr, Jim's turn. Or Jim's turn, Rokkr.
Alrighty then. So, Morgantha.
Yeah.
I am going to cast Hunter's Mark
Gotcha.
as a second level spell. And I will use D&D Beyond on my phone. Rubbish on this. Right, so actions to hit. That should hit.
Yep.
So 1d8, 12 plus a d6. Oh, that's better. 17 damage.
Okay. How do you want to kill Morgantha?
Yes. Sorry.
Literally right between the eyes, and that nose just literally vacuums in her head but at the same time the back of her head just explodes.
She sneezed out the back of her head.
Nice.
Yeah.
Second attack.
Oh, don't ignore me.
Can I see the big hand, Ophelia?
Yes, you can. She has a guiding bolt on her, so you get advantage to hit her as well. She is behind cover, but you can hit.
Can I move Hunter's Mark?
No, that's a bonus action which you've already used.
Yes. So
if you moved a bit, which you can do, you'd negate the brush. So if you sort of moved there, you'd just have a straight advantage roll on her if you wanted to do that.
There.
Yeah, seems reasonable to me.
So advantage. Needed it.
21 hits.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. That makes it her turn. The guiding bolt's gone then, isn't it?
Get me drink.
You He's gone, hasn't he? He has. So what you hear isn't coming from Ophelia, it's coming from Bella. And Bella will say to Ophelia is, no, sister, no. And Ophelia is going to enter the ethereal as her action. As she enters the ethereal, and Bella's asking, seems to be begging her not to, from behind you all, you hear Mordenkainen snigger. That takes us to Bella's turn. She can do nothing in there. Morgantha's dead. Mordenkainen starts to casually walk forwards now. And he moves here. And he says, he turns around and says, it's just here, gentlemen. I can follow her. I suggest you come back, dear. He will say. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a intimidation roll for 17, and it's going to be versus 17, right? Yeah. So as Mordenkainen steps forwards and says, she's just here, and he says it sort of in a threatening, intimidating way. Ophelia actually enters back into the prime, and she's on bended knees. She's knelt down in front of Mordenkainen, and she's holding on to his robes now and says, "Okay, no, please, we'll leave you alone. You've killed one of us. You know we have limited power now. We are done. We are done with you. Please leave us."
Killer! I'll shout.
So that's Mordenkainen's turn. Bella's now on her knees. Ophelia's on her knees. Bella's still trapped in there. And that takes us to Festa.
No. So Morgantha's dead. Is her body still there?
Yes.
It's got an arrow in its head.
What's left of her head?
Yeah.
You're on mute, Dan.
It's like
So
a
they've
really
not-
shit snowman.
They've not surrendered.
Ophelia has virtually surrendered. She's on her knees. She's decided to re-enter or return from the ethereal, and she's on her knees, trying to beg and plead for her life at Mordenkainen's feet.
I'll shout killer again, just in case you didn't hear me.
Yeah.
Which one was fucking Ted?
All three.
Turns.
I thought I'd bring that back.
So, yeah. She can have a lightning bolt.
Okay.
How long does the bubble of force last, out of interest?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Okay.
I was going to give a disadvantage because she's on bended knee, but I've rolled a natural 1 for the first roll, so roll your damage there. 19. So as she's on bended knee, this fork of lightning streaks down and strikes through her hands and all the way down her, as you can smell the burnt fiend flesh. Any other movement? Movement or bonuses? She's not dead.
No, but
Flash
the goose
is
hasn't
not
appeared.
dead.
Say again, sorry, Ted.
But a goose has not appeared yet.
No goose.
Let's have some goose next to her as well.
Pretty goose.
Okay.
Just trying to check on the range of when it appears.
I think it's 10 feet, isn't it? So Cinder there just burns her.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so it's another deck saving throw.
Yeah, 16.
Fails.
So then I'll be asked to look it up. So I'm just going to do it this way. So it's 1d6 plus 3.
Okay.
No, 5.
Okay, and that's fire, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, the fire doesn't seem to affect her as much as the lightning did.
Right.
Doesn't seem overly phased by it.
Hang on, if they got resistance or immunity.
They have resistance, so
Right, that's ignored.
yes, it is because you're a fire bastard.
So it's quite amusing when you come back to look at the map after you've been off the screen. It almost looks like Ted's got a thought bubble and he's thinking about one of them while shooting one of them.
Dream about hacks. Yeah, that went badly.
It's just like
Last time you did that.
Glance, it's like it looks like he's got a thought bubble.
Yes, it does.
So Rictavio's turn.
Mark, can you make that bubble smaller?
No,
progressively?
no, I don't think so. I can't move it. I
Progressively
don't
even.
think.
It doesn't change
That's a
once it's
shame.
there. It's there.
Oh, well,
What,
that
just
would be. I would be
squash
so doing that if I could.
just gradually shrinking it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
really slowly.
Or on a timer.
So I think Rictavio is going to step forwards, and he with his sword cane, he's going to try and hit.
Do like a sword cane.
So it's got a silver tip on the end of this sword cane. So first attack hits. So it's not much damage though. So, it's not enough. So she is taking beats. I mean, this begging and cowering doesn't seem to have affected you at all. Van Richten stepped forward and he's laid into it. Jarek's turn.
How beat up does she look?
She's on her knees. She's been singed severely from lightning passing through her. She's been twatted with a spectral hand, and Rictavio's just walked up to and gone smack on both sides of her head. She's not happy. She's on her last legs.
Okay, because I kind of almost want rather than attacker just to walk up and just try snap her neck. It's just a finishing while she's on the floor. But
okay, well we'll consider that flavour. But how?
Yeah. Have an attack. Oh, so I don't do a lot of damage, but I'm not casting now. It's just going to be furious attackment. So 17 to hit.
17 hits.
Oh, as much as I can do.
It's not quite enough.
No. It's the maximum I can do. So
yeah, well, that's because that's not magical either, is it?
No, that's why I was just trying to go for the next snap. Yeah, that's
okay.
Fine.
So that takes us to Nick.
I'm gonna walk up to her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
stand on her.
Was that on her? That'll work.
Please finish her off.
I'm gonna non-lethal.
What?
Oh,
to knock her out.
can he knock out? Oh,
because first of all, it's not my kill to take. That roll.
20 hits.
So 20 to hit. I'm not going to put a smite into this.
He is going to leave, however.
Yeah.
14 damage.
As she slumps unconscious to the floor.
I'll drag her as close to the other one as I can, and I will say to her, "This isn't a negotiation. We are going to tell you what you're going to do."
Hold up. So you've knocked her unconscious?
Yep. To the other one.
To the one in the bubble?
In the force bubble. Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Drag her sister to her. I went, "We're not negotiating. We're going to tell you what you're going to do."
we're going to kill them, mate. There's no
you
way
are
we're not
going
going to
to
kill them.
do it if there's any chance for her to live. Any chance.
Interesting. Bear with me. Just going to go for a wee. Right. Dan's gone now.
Oh, my mic's...
no, sorry,
my camera's off. I'm still there.
Okay. So...
Dan was being mean to him.
Yeah. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to give them... They got Arcana. They haven't. Right. So what you'd see in response to this is Bella will... She'll start to smile and put her hand in a bag. And she takes out a Heartstone. And she gives you this sort of malevolent grin, as if to say, "You'll never own me. You'll never be able to command me." And then nothing happens.
Second attack, I'm driving the sword for her sister's back.
Hold up. Nothing happens as she suddenly realizes that she can't turn ethereal. And she'll look, and then everything changes. Her whole countenance changes, and then she puts the Heartstone back in a bag, and then she lowers herself down to her knees, and everything changes, and she's now holds her hands up in front of her and she says, please, master, please, good lord, anything you want."
Fortunately, I have friends who know exactly how to deal with you. And I look over to Rictavio, who is, I'm assuming, completely understands everything that hags do and the sort of requests he'd want to make, because I have no idea what we'd be asking.
Right. In terms of...
Well, it's kind of they were the ones that told us we only need to kill one, and then we question and influence the remaining ones. He didn't give us any extra information. Yep.
Less than 10 minutes.
Okay. Well, the coven is broken. Rictavio will call you over for a sidebar. He'll say, the coven's broken. We've won. I say kill them. Just kill them. They're evil creatures.
They eat babies.
We
are killing them. There's no two ways about it.
Rictavio is emphatic about this, exactly the same as Akxikas is.
As soon as I drop this force,
if we drop that force shield, she'll run.
No, the second I drop it, she's getting a lightning bolt.
Well, I'm just thinking, is it possible we surround that bubble and you throw up a bigger bubble with all of us and her inside so she can't get away from us?
It can only be 10 foot in diameter, I think.
You can also have 10 feet squares that interlock.
Have we got enough time to role play that Ted actually gets to kill both of them in any manner he chooses? Or is the game not won yet?
I wouldn't mind getting killed and ripped my eye out. I didn't enjoy that.
Oh yeah.
Which one ripped his eye out?
That would have been Bella.
She's the one in the bubble?
Yeah.
She's the one on the floor that I knocked out?
No, the one in the bubble.
The bubble.
It's Bella. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not
the Bella bubble.
But when it's my turn, I'm going to say, get ready. Just everyone get ready. So, I mean, how does that work, Dave? Because as soon as I say the word, I'm going to drop the bubble.
Is it a foregone conclusion that we've...
I don't even care. I'm killing this hag.
No. What I mean is, do we have to roll it out? Can we just let
she's still got hit points.
Akxikas and say how they die?
Well, as it stands, Bella has not taken any damage whatsoever. She's still on full, quite hale and healthy, and she still has the ability to turn ethereal at will.
Mordenkainen can still...
Right, okay, so there's still a lot of role-playing to be done. Fair enough.
All we need is a sort of, if you come up with a plan to trap her... In fact, I've got one for you.
I've got an idea.
We don't need the other sister. Fester, would you like to do the honours?
Right.
What?
Van Rixavio is going to step forward and he's going to start casting Magic Circle. Magic Circle takes him a minute to cast, and on the floor as he's walking around, you can see he's sprinkling. It would be powdered silver.
Oh.
But he's going to do the reverse of the spell, Magic Circle. And what that does, creatures can't willingly leave the cylinder, not enter it. And that includes fiends and undead. So he is effectively trapping her in. She can attempt to make a charisma check to try and leave it, but you guys have got carte blanche to lay fiery death on her for perhaps a round or two after the bubble goes.
Well, we can drop it at will, can't we? Once his magic circle's up, we can all just
Yeah.
ones of us that need to walk in.
So what I'm quite happy to do to answer Jim's question is, yeah, it's a foregone conclusion. Ted, how did you want to kill yours?
Well,
or anything else? Does anyone else want to do anything before we just commit to this?
I'll let Mark do his first because I want all 3 bodies to do something with.
Oh, interesting.
Fair enough.
Just in case something goes horribly wrong, can we not kill the one that's unconscious just to make sure that the worst thing doesn't happen? She breaks out and gets away.
We'll do that one.
No, Dave's already said it's a foregone conclusion.
Yeah,
that's
you're
what he said.
poised and ready. Yeah, no problem.
Right, I'm going to draw one of my silver daggers and ram it into one of her eyeballs to the hilt.
Done. She drops instantly to the floor, dead.
I'll wipe the dagger with a macabre grin on her clothing and sheath it again.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, El. That was all. That was quite gratifying.
Using some form of tree growth thing once I've got. Oh, because one of them's still alive, isn't it?
One
yeah,
left.
You're going to grow a tree through them.
I'm going to grow a tree through all 3 of them. Obviously, straight through the vagina.
The machine.
And they will stay there forever and a day, being fucked by a tree.
Can I just request that you don't do it in the middle of the road so we can still get the wagon?
No, that's why I was like, going to be here.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So you position all 3 bodies, and as are the vines sort of going to smash, and then as the vines grow vertical, they're going to be dragged upright from bottom up or front bottom up. Yeah, brilliant. Okay. well done, gentlemen. Congratulations. That's 3 dead hags. So Mordenkainen will, at this point, look at you all and say, "Right, gentlemen, I believe this is where we now." I tell you what, I'm gonna. He'll cast Magnificent Mansion. The ethereal door opens. It swings open. There's the sort of small mansion inside with food and all the rest of it. So you're safe in here. You can go ahead and click your long rest.
Is there a stable for Reaper?
Does it last that long?
It's indefinite. It's until it dies or I dispel it.
Yeah, sure. You can lead a horse in.
Yeah, it's got no end time until it dies.
Okay. So long rest, where you discuss future plans with Van Richten and Mordenkainen. Mordenkainen's going to start the conversation by saying, "Right, gentlemen, it's time to venture in our different directions and do what we can to escape this land and kill the devil."
Can I just ask if he's clearly he appears to have found his spellbook because he's just kicked some serious arse?
No, unfortunately not. They're the spells I had memorized before I lost it. I still need to search for it.
Right. Okay. Fair play. That's it. That's me done for questioning.
Did you not get to sign your stuff?
Yeah.
I kind of almost want to say I feel between us we should stop referring to it as the devil. It's almost like Voldemort. Use his real name. It's not scary.
Yeah, he's a poo nudger. That's what I reckon. Let's get him.
Morden kind of agrees and says, oh, "Yeah, agreed, Strahd."
Yeah, I would say he's not the devil. He's just a
Kill Strahd. We need for from the card readings. I need to be there for the final battle. I was one of your predictions, and he turns towards Van Richten, and Van Richten says, "Yo, I'll be there as well. I wasn't mentioned firsthand, but I'm definitely up for it."
It's a case of how do we communicate them when we're ready, because we feel we need to do a bit more based off our tarot readings first.
Okay, so Van Richten will say first thing he's going to do is after a long rest he's going to cast Greater Restoration on Festa. And then he's going to mention to Jarek the use of the sending spell.
We don't have.
Third level spell you should have access to, I believe.
Is it third or fourth?
Third. And that's how he's going to be able to communicate. And he's pretty sure Jarek will be able to do it.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. And he suggests that if you keep that prepared and ready, not necessarily immediately, but what he has to do, what Van Richten has to do, might take him a couple of 3 days. He's been told of one of his former pupils entering Barovia. It's and he'll mention the name Esmeralda. If you come across a Vistani woman, you can't miss her. She's stunningly beautiful, black hair, but she's got a prosthetic leg. She is one of my she is my protege.
High quality prosthetic leg, or will we notice?
It turns into a crossbow.
She's very proud of it. She wears it as a badge of honor. A werewolf ripped off her, attacked her, and she chopped her own leg off, and now she wears it as a badge of honor, a wooden prosthetic leg. You can't miss her. But I've heard that she's entered Barovia looking for me, and I need to make sure she's okay. Possibly we could join forces with her. That's my goal. And Mordenkainen will say to you that I need to separate from you guys and go and look for my staff. I believe you've got things that you need to do yourself.
Yeah.
I do have a couple of things to ask Mordenkainen before he goes though.
He'll just finish by saying, as long as we stay in touch, if we need you, we'll be in touch, and likewise if you need us. So go on then. Any other business?
So the first thing was a bit more info of what happened in the city. I was saying there's a new Lord of Rokkr. We feel the family now, with the new head of family, is trustworthy and could be a good person to take rule of Vallaki. His sister is inflicted with mental illness. She's insane. We have spoken to them that if we ever could heal, like you have done with our friend Festa, they have got together the funds to pay for whatever the healing would cost. Obviously, we're hoping in the future we could do this ourselves, but
okay. Rick Tavia will say, yeah, no, I was going to travel through Vallaki to go to my tower, which is just south of Lake Baratok. So yeah, I'll visit on my way through and mention that you've sent me. I'll see what I can do.
Either go as yourself, or if you wish to be disguised,
I need to stay.
Know that Jarek has.
Yeah, he'll say I need to stay in this disguise. While I've been in Barovia, I have been into Castle Ravenloft a couple of times, just poking around, and I found my book in Strahd's library. I think my book. And he'll point towards Rokkr.
Yeah.
I think he knows who I am. I'd rather until I'm ready to confront him.
Yeah.
Me revealing myself might give you an edge at some point, but until that time, it's Rick
And then
Tavier
the
all
other
the way.
thing, both to Van Richten and Mordenkainen, do they know of
Christmas.
the sister,
Jinx.
the Dusk Elf that will help him, that died as Strahd, caught in Strahd, and we're bringing back to life potentially at the Amber Temple?
Both will say no. This is news to them, and they'll say that's interesting.
It's part of the tarot readings. This is the person I must aid in the dark deed. I think that's what the tarot reading said, his dark desire to help him fulfill. It's on the tarot reading, so I'm going off. It's the right thing to do for our end goal.
Yeah, but both of them will say to you that it's of most importance that you fulfill all of the tarot readings. So far, you have one, which is Mordenkainen himself. You need to fulfill all of the others. Go on, Ted.
Was Mark another one? His fucking staff.
No, that was a
Unrelated.
vision I was sent from
Right. Yeah. Sorry. No, it
God.
Yeah, slightly different.
Yeah.
Also, for Van Richten, you are seeking the Raven, were-ravens. You feel that they could be allies and are good lycanthropes that would help.
Indeed.
We can't say for certain, but we considered the families that you said you needed to look into.
Yeah, they did look very weird.
Ravens were protecting the Unwin Inn during the attack. Ravens were protecting, and Fester directly asked them about were-ravens, and he believes their expression revealed they knew what he was on about but didn't want to say.
Okay. Interesting, you'll say. So the Martikov family. So that means the best way in there is to get to the bottom of the missing wine deliveries. I would suggest. But wonderful. I'll put them to the top of my list. There are a couple of other families that I still need to rule out until we're certain. But wonderful, good work.
Could you let us know who those families are, just in case we come across them?
He's already told us, I think, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's mentioned the Kreskovs in Kresk, but he wasn't let in, so he wasn't able to investigate them. They said they'd let him in if he was to deliver wine. He mentioned the Martikovs. He mentioned the Vokters. He mentioned the Valakoviches, but he was unlikely, and also the Indiroviches from the village of Barovia. And he's also heard of Van Holt family as well, a noble family. But he's never actually met any of those.
Well, Van Holt's not one I've got on my list. I've got
A few of those definitely sounds like it's wine-ish.
First name's Vasily.
Oh, Vasily.
Oh.
What do you know of this? What do you know of Vasily?
Nothing. I know the name. I know the name reappears throughout the centuries.
He appeared human, didn't he?
Yeah.
He appeared to us. We helped him on the road as a human.
He was nails, if I remember.
What a guy.
He held his own. We certainly saved him though. But whilst we were helping the Vokter boys and looking through their mansion, we found, was it a note from a friend or a promise to help?
Yeah.
From Vasily to the Vokter family, written several hundred years ago.
Okay, this seems surprising. He will say, well, there's a chance that the name could be passed down. I'll be mindful if I come across a Van Holtz. I'll certainly be.
We had a hunch it could be how Strahd travels around and the the guys he takes. Did it sound? Why did we come to that conclusion? It sounded like he was a powerful person that could keep a protection or something in the note, wasn't it?
You did.
It was if it was Strahd's handwriting.
It was Strahd's handwriting. So yes, the promise of protection from Vasily was in Strahd's own handwriting.
Yeah. Okay. So to this, Van Richten will say, right. Yeah. Okay. So we need to stay clear of that character, or possibly use that to our advantage if he attempts to do something. This is why we need to keep in touch with each other, or be able to contact each other.
How can we stay in touch?
Deja vu.
Sending.
Yeah, we're sending spells. Van Richten can do it, and Jarek can do it. So it's like your telepathy, Mark, but you get to answer back as well. It's a 3rd level spell,
and it's long range. There's no range on it, is there?
No. I think it's as long as you're in the same plane. Same dimension.
Also, hopefully, Mordenkainen's not in his mansion when we try and ask.
Yeah, it's an extra dimensional scrotum.
I don't think I had anything else to ask either of them.
No, it can get to other planes, but there's a 5% chance it fails.
Oh, okay. That's a really powerful spell.
Yeah, send message any distance, even across planes, but if you're on a different plane, there is a 5% chance it does not arrive.
Just a 5% chance. That's amazing.
But it doesn't say if I know it doesn't arrive or what, or...
Yeah.
If he doesn't reply, assume it hasn't.
Unless his fails to come back the other way as well.
Sleep.
So you can finish your long rest. Morning dawns once again in Barovia. Van Richten and Mordenkainen are both going to travel back to Vallaki as it stands. So what we'll do... Did you want to go back into Vallaki?
I think
What's the next...
West, I think.
I can't remember. I thought I'd written it down, but I can't find our list of things we wanted to do in the order, because we had Abbot.
I thought West was the Abbot and the winery, and I kind of feel the winery might be key at the moment, because the winery gets us into the Abbot as well if they're wanting wine.
Yes, that was the order we had to do it. We had to go to the winery.
It's the winery
to get into the Abbey.
Because the winery ticks off the Blue Water Inn and gets us into the Abbey, which gives us 2 more lines of information.
Then after that, then there's either going to the Amber Temple for me and Mark, or we got the information about potentially the Den of Wolves by Octavio's Tower.
Okay.
So what's nearest? We may as well do the...
Well, the first thing we need to do is the wine, especially seeing as Unwinners made it sound even more desperate and time's running short on that one.
Right, so does this cart belong to us, or did we borrow it from someone?
No, it's yours.
Belongs to us.
Yeah.
Right, I think we should we should be able to get back to Vallaki, not long after nightfall.
Yep.
So I suggest we spend the night there, and then take the cart and set off first light.
Okay.
Is that acceptable to everyone?
So, I messaged you earlier in the week, Dave, about casting aid at the end of the long rest. I've got a single casting of aid for 3 people.
Yeah. Should we finish there then, and then? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna piss up the hag tree and carve my name in it.
Definitely happening.
You're allowed to carve your name into trees, Druid.
Yeah.
He grew it.
Dead hag trees he is, yeah.